So far,
Yeah.
Lindsay, we've been pretty lucky to dodge some of this. But
Yeah.
today looks like it could make its way.
We've had a couple close calls.
Right.
We were kind of in that yellow to orange zone, meaning moderate air quality to poor for some, not everybody, but we are in that zone today where maybe it's a good idea to limit some of that extended outdoor time just for everybody in general, because I do think the density of that smoke has elevated. Now check it out. This is a live look from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway toward the downtown Indianapolis skyline, which is completely encompassed in this smog because you can't even see it at this point. So we are seeing that cold front that came through yesterday. Now our winds have shifted out of the north, and of course that is where the dense smoke in the atmosphere is currently being held. So a lot of that is being pushed in our direction. So for today especially, just given our upper atmospheric flow, I do think this is going to be one of those more difficult days when it comes to some smokiness in our sky. Right now it's 69. The dew point is lower. It's 64. Unfortunately, that northerly wind is going to be the issue for us today, right now at 6 miles per hour. Here's your air quality, and that's going to be overlaid with the actual map of what it looks like in the atmosphere from a smoke standpoint. Here in Indianapolis, we are in that orange category, so that's going to be the unhealthy for some sensitive groups. That's the deal up near Muncie, up near Lafayette as well. And you can see really right here along I-70 is where that cutoff is right now. Taking a step out, you can see where the most dense smoke is, and that's up across Wisconsin. The UP of Michigan now starting to take over northern Michigan as well. That's where we've got the worst air quality out there right now. Over the next several hours, as we are now on the backside of this frontal boundary that is now positioned to our south, really thinking that the air quality is going to continue to be an issue today because, again, of the wind flow in our upper atmosphere. This is going to take us between now and about 24 hours from now, noticing that it gets a little less dense, but still as we wake up Monday morning, we're going to be dealing with some of that air quality concern, and that eventually, as we start to see the wind becoming more of a westerly wind instead of out of the north, that's going to push that all back to our north. So we should see some improvements there, especially as we get into our Tuesday. So we're going to have that air quality alert in effect all the way through the latter part of the day on Monday. Temperature wise, we are seeing a little bit of a cooling trend after a high of 93 yesterday. We have dropped back into the mid 60s for Richmond to Muncie. It is 69 right now here in Indy with a lot of that haze hanging out in our sky. Temperatures will be a touch cooler today as compared to yesterday because of that change of wind direction. 82 as we go through that 2 o'clock hour, and then eventually 84 by 4 p.m. Thinking a combination of that northerly wind as well as some of that smoke and the haze in the atmosphere will potentially keep that temperature down a few degrees. So daytime highs low to mid 80s across central Indiana for today. And if you're headed out to, let me go to the next slide here. If you're headed out to Everwise tonight, that is when we could potentially see those temperatures dropping back out of the 80s. Sarah McLaughlin, by the way, 7:30 in downtown Indy. Tomorrow, let's take you into the afternoon. 87, your eventual high temperature. I think tomorrow will be a warmer day, especially as that smoke in the atmosphere starts to thin out a bit. That will allow that temperature to warm back up. Again, we will see a change in wind direction as well. Then we get you into Tuesday, and this is going to be when we track the cold front that will ultimately bring a shift in this pattern here. Already looking at least the southeastern tier of the state. This is going to be a level 2 of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. And a lot of this is going to happen in the early morning hours on Tuesday. This is where that frontal boundary is going to set up. This is 5 o'clock in the morning. That will continue to track to our south and to our east through 7 a.m. Tuesday, and then eventually exit the state by about noon. Then I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. All of that exits, and we will see a cooling trend as we get into the rest of the week. So temperatures will go from a relatively hot high near 90 on Tuesday, dropping toward 80 and beyond for the remainder of next week.